Now, what about dating controversial?
Dating controversial. Women don't actually know what they want.
Welcome to another episode of Mysterious Mugs. What's in here? I'll never tell. Today, I'm joined by my co-host here, Brandon Shaw. What's up, Brandon? Also known as my heterosexual life mate.
Correct. Doing well, buddy.
That was a proper greeting. I think that was a proper title.
Yeah, it's nice. It's fine. Heterosexual life mate.
Heterosexual life mate. So last episode, we went on a cliffhanger and so many emails, so many DMs flooding my inbox is what I wished happened. But right now, I'm curious with the thoughts on The Bachelor. I want to continue where we left off there. Now, you've seen a lot more of The Bachelor than I have, I'm assuming.
Historically, yes. Not this season.
Not this season.
This one. Historically,
so I'm one up on you this one.
Yeah.
But I think together we were in shock at that first episode.
Yeah, it went from like Playboy Mansion to liberal arts community college dropouts of just not the A squad anymore.
It's just, yeah, the quality just kind of went down. I mean, it used to be like, correct me if I'm wrong, I remember just bombshells, knockouts. The whole thing was like, this is the dream. This guy's got it.
Exactly. It was dream date, dream guy, dream house, dream girl, and now it's like dream.
I think it was more the opposite. I think it was like, dream. Not a great dream, but like, it's part of a good dream.
Is it a political thing or is it nobody wants to do The Bachelor anymore?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And I think we looked, so historically, we looked at the numbers on The Bachelor, and shockingly, it's actually shocking, 25% of them actually stayed together, which is, granted, half of...
I thought that was impressive.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
you thought it was going to be less.
I thought it was going to be way less. I was like, there's no way this show actually works and these people stay together for a long time. But
because I mean, if you think about it, that's like better than normal odds of just dating. Because if you take the like engagement at the end of it part out of it,
right? If
you just assume that it's like short-term dating and we'll see what it leads to, or you know, it doesn't count as a full engagement until they've like stayed together after the show or whatever. It's not bad odds.
I just guess the stakes wouldn't be high if we're called the relationship. They will agree to date each other.
Yeah.
And, although now agreeing to not be in a situationship is kind of like marriage back in the day. So it's almost evens out.
Yeah, I guess. It's crazy how that like evolved. I guess guys latched onto that as an excuse from COVID. They're like, no. Now we have a whole level underneath actually dating.
We gotta just wait. I mean, the whole rise of the situationship culture, I think, that's got to be a guy movement. That's got to be...
Well, I mean, the situationship culture is really just being too cheap to go on real dates, right?
Mm-hmm. I tell you, there's so many guys who are like, my strategy is I just ask a girl to come over and smoke a bowl, and that's it. Honestly, you know what it is? There's like two extremes. So on my end, I see this all the time. There are two extreme of guys. One is just the lazy, the overachiever, and then I believe us would be like the fun guy. The
right.
Lazy guy is like, come over, smoke a bowl at my place, Netflix and chill. Let's, I don't know, walk around the block because I'm out of ideas.
So really quickly, I did really feel like growing up, not ever participating in drugs, that I missed out on so many opportunities to be with girls, like in an easy fashion of like, hey, let's go smoke weed, or hey, let's do this. Like,
did they bring that up to you?
Well, there was definitely girls that were like, do you like to get high? And I was like, no. And they're like, bye. So, I mean, I definitely like missed out on a lot of opportunities.
Darn.
I view it like growing up, I was like, this would be so easy to just do drugs. Like not doing drugs really fucked with my life. Like, so that's
I don't know
not
about
something I can
drug,
recommend.
but you heard my cigarette story?
Oh, yeah. That you started smoking cigarettes just to have conversation with girls?
So literally when I was going through this whole development or whatever, I started hanging out with this guy, Sin. So shout out to John Sin.
Right.
One of the best I've ever seen in a game.
Wait, hold on. The guy's name is John Sin? Johnson?
not Sin or John Sin, the porn guy, and not Johnson.
Dude, this guy's last name is definitely Johnson, and he's like John Sin.
It was just Sin.
Uh-huh.
But then I found out his name was John. It became Johnson.
This is just lazy, but go ahead.
It's like Joe Chan.
Yeah, Joe Chan.
Joe Chan.
Shout out Joe Chan.
So Sin was one of the best I've ever seen out there. But like, I hung out with this motherfucker for like 6 months straight, and he was probably sober 4 times I hung out with him.
Jesus.
That's 6 months. Either weed,
party animal,
or partying, just drinking, just whatever. But he's really, really good. Very, very good, right? And we would go out a lot, and I would kind of like see his style, whatever. And he mentioned it just to me. He's like, the best opener in the world. I'm like, what? Just find a girl smoking a cigarette, because we did before vapes. It was like back in 2007 or whatever. Or no, 2009. I introduced you to Adam, and he's like, that's the easiest way to do it. And I did it once, and I'm like, holy shit, this worked so well.
Easy.
It wasn't that it was just so easy. Yes, it was easy, but then it was a built-in justifier to stay and talk
for 5 minutes or whatever. Yeah.
There's like, let's stand here and smoke a cigarette together, new friend. And I'm like, what? It was like I had like a secret handshake, which, by the way, you can't really do with the vape anymore. You can't like, hey, gotta go.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's like the same like Instagram culture of like it has to be instant. It's like, let me bum your vape. Oh, okay.
Done.
Yeah. See you later.
Like, I got a lid for a cigarette. Can I bump a cigarette?
Right. I know what you're gonna be.
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, did you hear the gym opener too? Of like if you go up to a girl on a treadmill and it's like, so how much longer are you on there? Or I'm gonna use it next. How long are you doing? It's like, oh, so you have 35 minutes to talk.
Yep. I like our approach. I think we came up with that one, influencers.
Oh, that's you exclusively can use that.
I think anyone with a business, quote unquote, like, hey, I'm promoting this business. Do you do X, Y, Z? You don't think anyone?
So you're gonna give your students permission to recruit on your behalf, like in the gym as an opener?
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yes, actually, anybody watching this, if you want the best gym opener, you can literally just go up to any girl and be like, hey, I think I've seen you on Instagram before. And she's like, yeah, no, I promote there. And she's really attractive enough. She's on Instagram. She's an influencer. That's happening.
Or wants to be.
Right? And go, yeah, I actually do marketing for Modern Success, one of my affiliates or whatever. We're always looking for influencers if, you can get paid just to do shout outs and promotions. Either way, whether it's bullshit, doesn't happen, you're in.
This is a double win because you're promoting side hustle and you're promoting an opener for your guys.
And they can make money.
Wow.
We should be.
You're a real philanthropist.
We should be spreading the word more somehow. But yeah, anyway, so I realized I'm like, this is just like a built-in networking, and it can obviously the traction and stuff can built in. But back to Bachelor. And yeah, I gave up smoking after like a few months, but I'm like, this is getting addicting. Fuck that. But I will say, kids don't try that at home. But yeah, it worked.
Surgeon General's warning at the bottom of the
Almost like, kids, don't do drugs. It's awesome. But
Smokey the Bear says no.
Yeah, but don't do it. But it's awesome. Okay, so you're on The Bachelor. You see more than me. What is the strategy to win? Because remember we did this because like Survivor.
Right.
I don't know if you did, but me and Albert.
We talked about strategy to win is like you definitely have to be like one of the first three to pull the guy, and then you
Pull the guy.
to pull the guy. Or you're talking about the other way. You're talking about Bachelorette. Oh, okay.
You're on The Bachelor.
Okay.
Or Bachelorette.
Same rules apply. But yeah, go ahead.
So how do you win? How do you beat the other guys?
Albert definitely has this locked in way more than me, though.
Okay.
We were like, don't go for the kiss night one. You have to be like one of the first 5 guys to pull her, or you're never going to get the opportunity to.
Okay.
You have to make sure that you hold your alcohol. It's a big thing. Is like, don't be the drunk guy. And then from there on, you have to like almost retreat and like play hard to get. So you have to like do a lot of push-pull.
Okay.
Because all these guys like simp right over the top.
So it's kind of classic, like when you normally would do.
Yeah, you kind of have to be like the normal guy and like not play up to the show almost.
I feel like every time I see the show, it is extra. They are like, I just feel like after this one night, we are connecting on a deeper level that's spiritual and physical and mental.
I feel like those guys never last though. I feel like the guy who's just like, hey, like I'm a normal guy with a good career and I'm, goal-oriented. Yeah, those are the guys that do well.
Here's how my brain works. I would hack the shit out of this. This is what I did with Albert and Survivor, and he came in 3rd place because of the strategy we implemented.
Just game plan it?
So I said, spoil me. I want to know who wins. And then I watched the show, and all I gave a shit about was watching the winner. And I'm like, what are they doing? Every show, I just focus on the winner. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? And then I'm like, all right, what are the patterns? What are the patterns? So I'm pretty sure. I haven't
watched enough Bachelorette to be able to like dial in a full strategy. But that's like the couple things that we always notice is like the drunk guys always lose. The guys who simp night one lose. The guys who go in for a kiss usually night one lose. It's the guys that get like the 2nd and 3rd date kisses.
Does the first impression matter that much with Bachelor, or is it more like the long game? And
that first impression rose thing, I think, matters. I do think that matters.
That's hard to get. That's like 1 out of 30.
But it's hard because you're literally like make an impression, but not too big of an impression.
Yeah.
But again, it's like regular game. It's like push pull and like.
I guarantee at this point I come in with like some kind of dad joke about the situation. I don't know what it would be, but it'd be.
But that might do well.
Yeah.
That might do well.
It depends.
I told you my dad joke story. I was talking to a girl once, and she was like, "You make too many dad jokes," and I was like, right off the table.
You're
Like,
done.
yeah, you're done. I was like, I made enough dad jokes at that point to get her to stop talking to me. Classic Brandon.
Yep.
And I was like,
We didn't-
that's my whole personality.
We didn't used to be. We used to be normal. Like I swear to God, remember in our 20s, like it
I was always pretty punny. I think I've always been there with the puns.
I don't know.
That's all dad jokes are, is puns.
I just feel like we hit 30. It was just you didn't even hit 30. Me and Albert hit 30, and then you were just like, I'm tagging on this shit. This is awesome.
Dad
You're
jokes for the win.
Yeah, they just are. They're just better. So Bachelor's getting ruined.
Bachelor's getting ruined. The girls on there are just like, they literally didn't
trash.
even try to make an effort. They're like, we want below average.
They're not attractive. One girl had a forehead you could see from the moon. I don't know what was happening there. It was just awful. Even Anna was mentioning it, just be like, these girls. So I mean, there's like girls watching it being like, this is just awful.
You're just eliminating half your viewers.
Is this the Disney effect?
I think so.
All right. So
Well, it's literally owned by Disney. ABC.
Oh,
It's ABC.
so it really is. Okay.
Unless I'm crazy, isn't it ABC?
I don't know. I don't know if it was on
Producer, isn't it ABC?
All right, so we're gonna look that up in a back.
Producer, check
ABC.
this. Yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna circle back around. I think it's ABC.
They gotta stop, man. I'm
No, maybe it's CBS.
praying and waiting for the day Disney stock tanks, which it is, thank God, and then Apple just buys them out. Because that can happen. Like they're the only ones who are like big enough to buy Disney.
And then our lives are just 100% controlled by Apple.
But 100% better.
Yeah.
What does Apple do that's not entertaining?
I'll do anything to not have Disney making movies anymore. I don't want to turn this into a political show.
If Amazon could buy it or HBO, I'd be happy.
They must be stopped. Their reign of terror.
Just
I don't think Amazon can buy them.
I just not yet. But if they keep tanking, God bless South Park.
Oh yeah.
Just put it
not
in it and make it live.
I'm not even a South Park fan, and that was fucking amazing.
It was so you just don't realize it yet. South Park is hysterical. All right, but moving on. You are a fan of the game, or used to be. I mean, you've been kind of off the market for years and
Retired?
years. Yeah, you've been retired. But I want to quiz you now. I'm going to do the old quiz
Okay.
on how to pick up a girl. Okay? Systematically. Now.
Okay. First, bend from the knees.
I thought it was all back. It's like,
Bend from the knees.
that's what I'm doing it wrong.
Tighten the core.
So you've been my best friend for generations, for a decade, right? So obviously you know my award-winning attraction ladder. So why don't you tell the guys at home how the attraction ladder goes? Because he knows it. I know he knows it. And Albert knows it.
Yikes.
It's waiting to see. What do you know any of the steps?
Dude,
Could you go step by step, or let's reinvent? I want to know now Brandon's attraction ladder from start to close. What does this look like?
Brandon's or yours?
Ideally, if you could know mine, I'd be wildly impressed. But I know that's not going to happen. But then, if you had to make it up yourself right now, what would it look like?
I just go back to English class. It goes introduction, body, conclusion.
So it's just
wait, so-
insta body.
Do I get to make up my attraction ladder, or I'm going by what I think your attraction ladder is?
Go. Let's see yours. Maybe it's parallel because there's no way you're guessing mine off the.
Wow. So I would say I don't like saying attraction first. I would say hook first.
Okay, so give me an example of a hook.
A hook is an introduction or a direct opener or some sort of initial how you're starting the
Okay,
interaction.
so an opener.
Yeah,
You're not going to open with the opener?
Okay, opener.
Are you Tarantino? You're going
I'm trying to not sound super pickup-y.
to sound. Just give it. You're going to start.
All right.
Start with a one line. Howdy doody. What do you want to call it?
Opener,
Okay.
laughs key part of my of my game.
All right, guys, write this down.
Yeah.
Open. Then make her laugh.
Then make her laugh.
Okay.
Then something attractive. Then break touch barrier. Why are you finding this so funny? This is gold.
This is great. Why didn't we think of this before? We should do something attractive.
I just do frat star game.
Break touch barrier.
Tell me what the actual.
No, I
okay,
want this.
Okay.
Screw my. All right.
Okay.
Open.
Yeah.
Make laugh. Ha.
Haha.
Look at me.
Right.
Which you kind of did the 6-pack thing. That's a cheat that most people can't do. It's like here.
I'm telling you what my
have
game
your
is.
wing touch my abs.
I'm telling you what my
Hope
game
for the
is.
best. All right. Break touch barrier. Just touch him on the shoulder. Just that. All right.
Yeah.
Now what?
Then you go into comfort building.
Which is
Not touching.
okay. Comfort.
Yeah, comfort is I don't know how to describe this, and I know that you always say that it's like natural for me, but it's like do something that's like normal, like have a normal conversation without being creepy or overly touchy or like commenting on anything below her neck. Like,
So this should come after you touched her and made her laugh and done attractive stuff. Now you show you're not creepy.
I guess I'm out of order here. Tell me, master.
Okay. By the way, this is why I love interviewing naturals or guys, which you're not really. You're like a natural. I mean, you were exotic to begin with, but the way I have it pinned down, and this isn't just coming from me.
Hybrid.
This comes from studying you, Albert, Sin, other guys, everyone I used to go out with back in the day.
I don't know if I ever knew your attraction ladder, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It was only in my book that I gave you, but it's fine. I'm not upset.
Thank you for signing it.
So anyways, Psychology of Modern Flirting, you get on any Amazon store out there. Or go to freegiftfromjared.com. So fun.
What'd you say? Free gift?
This episode is brought to you by freegiftfromjared.com. Freegiftfromjared.com. It's more than a gift. It's a present. So the attraction letter goes like this. All right, you have to start, open, whatever, okay?
Yeah.
You do your thing. Now you go into actual conversation, which is your being non-creepy or whatever.
Right.
I'm not trying to touch her.
So that's my comfort building.
Yeah, it's like basic just comfort, like, hey, we're talking, okay?
Human stuff.
From there, now, before I worry about getting attraction stuff, I got to get positioning. I have to actually put my body somewhere where I'm not going to be like talking over her shoulder. I'm not going to be like just oddly positioned, because if you are, you can do all the best stuff in the world and you're just a sinking ship.
Okay.
Once you're positioned, most people think what you did: make her laugh, make her attracted, do something attractive.
I can't help but make him laugh, though. That's my curse.
I mean, he's got the face for it.
That's my curse.
He's like, oh, I'll break the touch barrier. However, you're skipping a very crucial step, and that is her friends, the group, peer approval.
I don't like a girl with friends.
No, that one lonely and miserable.
Yeah, I want the one girl who's at the end of the bar reading a book. Like, that's my type.
Hookers. Got it. So
why are hookers reading?
I don't think they're faking it. They fake everything.
They're faking it? That was good.
They're faking it.
They're faking it.
It's like, I look intelligent. Look at my glasses. But you got to win over their friends with peer approval. From there, now PEZ, which is do something attractive, make them laugh.
Right.
PEZ, positive, which by the way means positive emotional stimulus. Spike them up. Then you have to make it flirty. Mm-hmm. So it's playful, now to make it flirty, so it's not just like friend vibe. From there, now you got to get her alone. So you got to free her away from her friends. Now that she's free, you talk about what you're talking about. Now you build a connection with her.
All right.
You get to know her as a human being and deep shit, and hopefully nothing that's gonna make her crying, but it happens.
All right. Don't make her cry.
Unless she's a stripper.
Unless she's a stripper.
That works. If she's crying, you got her.
Okay.
And then after the connection, you want to
love a crying stripper.
I mean, you said it. I mean,
You know my favorite strip club is, right? Tears.
Tears.
Yeah, I love that place.
So then you have to plan the date. Most guys, you go for the number. That's wrong. Plan the date. The number is an afterthought. Once you plan the date, now you think you're done. No, you're not done. Now you got to build that sexual tension up. Sexual tension.
Sexual healing, babe.
Go for the kiss.
Oh.
That's a attraction contract.
I don't like the trying to kiss a girl the day you meet him.
It doesn't have to be. So that's the attraction.
So you're
it could
extending
be,
it.
however.
I thought you were implying this is all like night
It
one.
could be. It could be. It doesn't have to be. It's just the order of operations
No.
that have statistically been the most successful for me and other guys that I've observed. So you build sexual tension. Now you're making out. You've kissed. At this point, you have comfort, playful, flirting, connecting, sexual. Now you do the adventure, which could also be a date. The adventure running loud is like a date, right? Then you need the after party.
Okay.
Or actually, like Cosmo's term for this better, but I already wrote the book, so sorry, Cosmo.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
What is it? I don't like after party.
The invitation.
I don't like that either. We'll work on it.
All right, so what wrong would you call when you get a girl back to your house? That's not creepy.
Success. I call that success.
You get it's success. I
call that winning.
You can make the lean, and then once you get an
invitation and what did you say?
after party.
No.
Well, that came about because every time I was in Vegas, we're like, oh, we have an after party over
Next episode, we'll have something better than invitation and after
All right,
party.
you
Go
can come
ahead.
up with it. I'll make version 2. I'll give you a little asterisk with Brandon. And after party, you get the arousal. You got to turn them on. You got to light the candles. You got to get them on your podcast. Have a plan in the background, and then just set them. What's up?
The plant, the plant's a metaphor for what happens after you do all the right things.
Correct.
Boom, plant sprouts. This plant wasn't here when you started the attraction ladder.
No. It's sprouted.
It was just a seed, yeah.
It's growing like a relationship.
Jesus.
And then, final step, release the pressure. And most guys think they have to close, they have to get in there.
Release the pressure?
You have to release the pressure.
Now I'm aroused.
Well,
Where am I at on the ladder?
that was a
Jesus.
step before.
Release the pressure.
Release the pressure.
Do you feel it too?
But no, seriously, so here's what I would say about release the pressure. Most guys are always under this illusion of, what are they, like these
Of an after party.
They call it
There isn't one.
sexual intent.
Okay.
So there's coaches out there. So I want to like inform you of the scene.
Right, I have no idea.
There's coaches out there who preach sexual intent. You got to go up to a girl straight off, massive sexual.
I tried that once. I was just, how's it going? Nice to meet you.
But that's kind of what the teacher like. Show her how horny you are. And I'm
But
like,
do you think that these guys, no offense to anybody who's getting help doing this, because obviously my best friend's a coach, and I
Right.
believe that all these guys should go get help. But do you think there's a little bit of a type that struggles to make their intentions known, and that's why they kind of preach that it's a little bit more, I don't want to say more beta, but less alpha, less like, hey, like I'm here for this purpose, and like, so they're preaching it because these guys have to set it up.
I believe, because I'm not going to say the company's name. I'm not going to put them on blast. But
Right.
I believe this company came up with it as a marketing ploy because they basically they leaned it down of outer game stuff to open and escalate. Because if you look at marketing, right, as my producer knows, the number one things to do well, reels, if you guys are seeing this, is how to approach a girl, how to open, how to kiss the girl. These reels blow up more than anything else, right?
Right.
So they know the number one question in everybody's head is, how do I escalate? How do I approach? How do I escalate? How do I approach?
It's just clickbait. Right.
So like, this is all we're going to teach. Open and escalate and screw everything up. They said talking. They said, don't worry about talking. Just wrap it up.
I was going to say the reel about like, just here's how to sound normal doesn't do well.
Doesn't do, yeah. So they're just like self-amused, which by the way is good. You should self-amuse, but they're like,
Self-amuse is literally my whole thing.
right. But they will take it to clowners. So now you guys approaching every girl they see, escalating, grabbing. I had this happen to Ann on a boot camp, grabbing girls' wrists, being like sexual predators under the I'm just amusing and having fun, man, because they're not teaching anything real and calibrated. And then they're like, all the other teachings are just, it's all inner, calibration doesn't matter. It's all about how you feel and think. And I'm like, no.
Why does everybody have to be so fucking extreme? Why does everybody have to be so fucking extreme?
Because that's good marketing.
It's crazy.
That's good marketing.
I've been going out and like having conversations with women like for a while and never grabbed a girl by the wrist and never did any of this stuff either.
Bro.
Just fucking be
Here's why this works.
be normal.
I'll make a reel out of this right now.
Okay.
What's your most controversial opinion?
Just in life.
In life, or in dating, or socializing? What's something that you think is extremely controversial?
The Beatles are overrated.
Your Beatles are overrated.
The Beatles are overrated.
You don't like the Beatles.
I didn't say that.
Brandon Shaw hates the Beatles.
I didn't say that. I said the Beatles are overrated.
But they're rated because every artist in history has said, I'm inspired by the Beatles.
Right. So I still think that they're the greatest, right? They're number one, most influential.
Oh, okay, so you say
But they're still overrated. They're not on Mount Everest. Like it's on like a normal tall mountain,
but they still beat everybody else.
but not by the margins that people think.
Okay, I mean, I'll accept that.
But you asked for my most controversial
But if
opinion.
you're like the
Turn it
Eagles-
into a reel. Overrated.
Okay. But now what about dating controversial?
Dating controversial. Women don't actually know what they want.
Ooh, okay. So what do they want?
There's no way to know. There's no way to know because you can't ask them.
I feel like if we got them in exchange, they'd be like, who are we? Women. What do we want? We don't know. When do we want it?
Not
Now.
sure.
Right now. Give it to me.
No, women. More controversial because actually some women know what they want. Women cannot advise other women on dating.
Is it that they don't know what? First of all, I don't know that I might battle you on this one because I think an untrained woman, sure, but I've seen the growth of female coaches.
That's as a civilian. I'm talking about civilian on civilian.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say like
I almost said
shout out to my
pedestrian, but then
shout out to my girl Jamie. Shout out to Anna.
No, that's completely Irrelevant.
Emily. I've been working with Kezia. Shout out to Kezia.
That's a gender neutral situation, right? A coach is a coach, is a trained individual. I'm talking about like female friends, and maybe it applies for men too. Like people shouldn't give people other dating advice unless they're a trained professional like yourself.
Sure.
Like they don't fucking know. They apply their own situation and everything's anecdotal, and it's.
I think that's fair, because if I wasn't trained, I'm a guy. I have no idea what, like, there's so many guys who don't know what women want unless you have been mentored and have actually learned and taken that time to study this, which is, you know what grinds my gears?
I know what grinds my gears.
Every single guy out there will be like, I don't really have time for this. I don't have time for the socializing, the dating thing, which, by the way, statistically is the number one regret people have on their deathbed. I researched it, look it up at home. Every single person in history, we all know at the end of our core being, our interpersonal relationships, whether with friendships, whether romantic relationships, is the most important aspect of living a meaningful life. No one is on their deathbed going, I wished I made another million. I wished I worked more. There's not one person was like, I wished I worked harder and worked more, right? Yet, every single person is like, I'm going to go all in on work my career.
Right.
I'm going to go all in on fitness.
Right.
And get jacked or whatever.
Well, because those are the hacks.
Which is important. And I'm not taking away, like, healthy lifestyle, yes. Making money, have a great lifestyle, yes. But I feel like there's a massive misunderstanding or a downplay of the importance of women and socializing in general. And like, people are just kind of clueless and not waking up to that. Or they think the red pill shit, which is just like, oh, let me get jacked and rich and then everything else will fall into play. I don't know why that is. I feel like that's like saying, let me get rich and really good with women and then I'll have a six pack.
I think the two most important things of the things that you just mentioned are the interpersonal skills and the fitness, for multiple reasons. But if you had to choose two of those that were going to like make you successful at dating and women, I think it would be those two more than money, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Because the fitness thing is like immediately when you go talk to a person, a girl, specifically,
depends. Fitness to get the girl, I would say money to keep the girl. If I had to pick between those two.
Sure, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about attraction. We're
just
talking about
basic attract, get the girl.
Go get the girl. Because again,
I would take looks over money.
You have zero chance of having her fall in love with you if she doesn't ever want to talk to you. And you have a way better chance of her wanting to talk to you if you're in shape.
Correct.
So you can go make the money later or convince her that you don't need the money later.
When I've been in good shape compared to when I've been like literally obese, I've noticed three key elements that have helped the game. It only really does three key things, which you could argue is a lot.
Right.
But these three things are: number one, it makes opening a lot easier. Sometimes the girls would even open me, which I was like, what is happening right now?
Right.
When I got the teeth done, I had a girl come up and be like, I love your teeth. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. This is amazing. Right. So looks make opening easier. Number two, they made closing easier. So once they're in bed, I got a lot of last minute resistance. I got a lot of, that started going away more. I'm like, oh, I'm better shape. Like the arousal seemed to get a lot easier. So that was number two. Number three, I noticed I was able to make a few more mistakes that normally I wouldn't get away with. Where it's like, I did something weird, but they'd overlook it. When in the past, I'm like, if I made these 5 mistakes, I'd be out of the water. Now I get like 8 mistakes, not 5.
I also think it unlocks a whole type of game or type of humor or whatever you want to refer to it as is cocky funny. You can't pull off cocky funny if you're out of shape. You don't have to be in amazing shape, but you can't pull off cocky funny if you're in bad shape.
I know I've showed you before, but you probably don't remember. A2 to mirror.
Oh, yeah.
You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Right.
So for those who don't know, Google, I don't even know if it's still up, which would be such a shame. This is like the greatest few reports, the holy grail. Google A2 Damir, A2 DAMIR, and read his stuff. It is crying out loud, hysterical, but he is the god of cocky funny.
It's crazy.
But he's a 6'5" jack guy.
Right.
He was like a bouncer and he was in the scene and all this stuff. But I'd be reading his shit and I'm just like, this guy is a god. This is hysterical. Like, and his confidence and the way, like, I'm trying to remember his quotes, but like, he asked a girl to come back to his house with him, and she said no. And this was at the time the show The Biggest Loser was going on.
Right.
He goes, the show The Biggest Loser? And she goes, yeah. I'd be like, you would have won the whole show by denying that right now. You would have just won the whole show.
Jesus.
She goes, excuse me? And he has just comebacks for everything. And what's beautiful about his reports is he goes line by line by line, so you're like there watching. It was awesome. I would do, and I got to talk to him a little bit too.
Did you really? You met him?
I didn't get to meet him. I've met pretty much everyone under the sun, I've talked to everyone. I didn't get to meet him. We scheduled it. We were going to, but I definitely got to pick his brain. And funny enough, I talked to him on the phone.
Okay.
Super nice guy, super cool and chill.
Yeah, he's probably not actually like that.
But he's old. No, I could see it.
You can see it.
I could see how it wasn't with me, but he's very like.
I'm sure he could turn it off to a degree.
He was a real alpha. He's like the Ryan Reynolds. He's like, I'm a lion. I don't need to turn it on.
Right.
But when I want to,
When he wants the food, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like kind of like he gave up that vibe.
Yeah.
Like Arnold.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He definitely gave up that kind of vibe.
Really quick, producer, is it ABC or NBC? ABC. It's ABC. So it is. It's
Is it owned by Disney?
Yeah. So it's literally
So Bachelor, Disney owns Bachelor.
effectively.
They own ABC that owns Bachelor.
Yeah, effectively. It explains it all.
Get me out of this Disney universe.
You're stuck.
I hate it. It's so bad. We have like what? Okay, what are we looking for?
This is the Miss Marvel of shows.
What are we looking for coming out? Deadpool. I'm still holding.
Deadpool's gonna be good.
I'm holding out.
Yeah.
What else?
You don't want Madam Web?
X-Men. Shut the fuck. X-Men 97. I know you're not excited because you didn't see it, but that was literally my favorite TV
in
show.
97, I was 6.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was like 91 to 96 was the X-Men cartoon. It was my favorite cartoon show growing up as a kid. So definitely looking forward to that, to Anna's dismay. And then there's another thing I saw like a meme like these will save Marvel. Fantastic Four. Oh,
Fantastic Four, yeah.
What do you think on that one?
I think it's gonna be interesting. I think that like the Pedro Pascal or whatever guy, he just always winning.
The Pedro Pascal. So for those who don't know, Pedro Pascal statistically
He's always winning.
has never. He's the only actor in history who has never been in any movie or show that has scored under a 90% of Rotten Tomatoes.
God.
There's no other actor that can say that, or actress.
I wonder what my Rotten Tomato score would be from women.
It's pretty raw. It's pretty raw.
Would not recommend.
Didn't we have a list at one point of all the women, whatever, and like the ways of ranking them, or no?
No. Not me.
No?
Wrong person.
No. I thought we had like a Rotten Tomatoes.
But we had access to that like Fort Lauderdale girls chat of like what they were like rating the guys for a while. Oh, you remember that? Where it was like stay away from him, like drug dealer vibes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We had
That was incredible. So that was like the Rotten Tomatoes thing.
Okay. I was on one of those chats.
Yeah, I know.
Facebook.
That's how we found it. Because a girl was like,
I got saved though.
because somebody came in and chimed in.
So here's the difference, and this is the power of amazing social girls. Here's the difference. I was found to be on there, and all the girls I know came to my defense saying what a great guy I am, which is like broke history of this chat. They're like, what is happening? We only hate guys here. I think one woman said something, which by the way, something negative. And by the way, she said it. I remember. I looked at the comment. It's because I didn't call her the next day because I went on one day with.
It was salty.
No, I didn't sleep with her, but I went on a date with her, and I was like, she was one of those Chihuahua girls. Like, I'm like, too much, way too much. But they came to my fed. Now I had a student, he didn't join the program because a little too toxic. But I had a student who wanted to join the program, or a potential student who wanted to join the program. He came on the call. He was on the call because he was on that site. And he got destroyed.
Jeez.
Destroyed. I'm not going to say too many details about it, out of respect. But this shit, if you don't have female friends, if you are not doing this the right way with the attraction ladder, or Brandon, just do something attractive ladder, then it can have real repercussions. It can like mess you up.
Yeah, you're not going to end up at the after party.
We're not going to have an invitation.
Oh my God.
So I'm kind of mad. We can talk about Marvel, whatever. I messed up being born when I was born. I feel like I would
agree.
I feel like I would dominate being a Gen Z guy because nerd is like attractive now.
Yeah. It's like 21 Jump Street.
Yes.
It's like you're not cool unless you recycle.
I'm like really mad about this. They're like, oh, you like nerdy stuff and everything's cool and now anime and whatever, and everybody. I know you don't watch anime. There are so many. Anyone, the ballet guy, random. If I bring it up, they're like, oh yeah, I watch Naruto. Like it is a hidden subculture that no one knows about.
Yeah, I think that they prefer to keep it that way. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's some hot some hot girls.
This is gonna be like Albert's transition into liking electronic music, where I was just like, I'm not going there. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not following you. I ended up like slightly, but like, I'm not going to the rave. I'm not putting things on my nipples. Like, it's not happening. So I'm not following you to Anime Comic-Con. We can go to Comic-Con. I'll go with the normal people.
I went to
the Star Wars and the Marvel.
I wasn't
and you go to with the virgins to the anime stuff.
Comic-Con, they're not virgins. No, they're...
Listen,
they slay
there's a clear divide. There's a clear divide. When you go to Comic-Con, when you go to Comic-Con, the people that go left to Marvel and Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, they have all slept with 1 to 3 people. Anime virgins.
Yeah, but
never
when I
gonna
show
happen.
up with
They're
Anna,
never gonna get to experience an invitation or an after party.
But when I show up with Anna, like 2 or 3 other girls, I'll be their god.
I'm gonna harp on after party forever. That is the worst.
It's the invitation, the after party, whatever.
Invitation also sounds terrible.
All right, next episode we will
have a better name.
A better name. But why do you think this is cool now? Where they're actually like, is nerd in? Is this like a?
It's the opposite of alpha culture. It's just people just are like, yeah, this is like trying to act manly, going to the gym, playing sports stuff. That's just exhausting. Let's just play video games and nerd out. And
but girls are responding to it. Like the Harry Potter, which is bullshit.
Harry Potter's an individual subsect that doesn't apply to other nerdy stuff.
But
100%.
It wasn't when I was in college. I couldn't be like Harry Potter this and that. Like, but now every millennial is like, no one is like the Backstreet Boys.
You missed it by not that much time though, because my generation of girls, it was not bad to like Harry Potter. So you missed it by 6 years. So ipso facto, I don't think you missed it because you were still dating. So you missed it in college when you weren't cool in college, but like I don't think you really missed it. You've dated girls that like Harry Potter.
Yes, after I learned.
It's a true fact though, guys. Like Harry Potter is its own subsect of nerd that girls will respond to.
Okay,
girls don't like Star Wars as
Game
much.
Of Thrones.
I don't think that's nerdy. I don't think Game of Thrones is nerdy.
How Stark is going to fight the Baratheons on dragons.
It's a little sci-fi-y, but it's not nerdy. Bro, it's killing and fucking. The whole show is killing and fucking.
Yeah, I mean...
Unless you're killed and not fucked, it's not nerdy.
Luke kissed his sister Leia. There's some incest there.
Yeah, I mean, and we're all into that, but... I'm telling you, Star Wars, nerdy. Game of Thrones is like not nerdy at all. Harry Potter, subsect of nerdy where you can still be attractive.
Harry Potter, Game of Thrones on it. Marvel?
No, Marvel's just nerdy. Some girls like it, but they do not like it the way that they like Harry Potter. Harry Potter's like endearing to women.
It is endearing. Endearing to me.
Marvel girls are like, yeah, we get it. You wish you were Thor.
Yeah.
Talking about
Do you think
me.
maybe that's why they're just like that? It's like the hot, like they watch sports sometimes. It's like, oh, hot baseball players with the...
Yeah, but very rarely. Like still very rarely. If you find a girl from like the Midwest who likes to have a beer, like, yeah, you can put her in front of just about anything. Like you can put her in front of a baseball game, a football game, a concert, whatever. Like those are just cool girls who like drinking beer and doing stuff.
I'll take whatever one I can get. I am so glad finally the nerd stuff is in. I don't know what the next
but
thing
I'm
is
telling
going
you,
to be.
Even with the nerd stuff being in, anime is still like super niche.
Maybe that's Gen Alpha. Maybe that's going to be the next. Because look, if you
there would be nothing more hysterical than Gen Alpha being into fucking anime.
Think about it. Like you got them doing
Gen
more and more
Beta.
like blue hair and crazy like.
I think though that we're still like you're seeing that because it's on Instagram and like those people are popular on Instagram.
Right.
I still think that the average person walking around with blue hair is not crushing with girls.
No, I'm not saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but I'm trying to look for trend. I'm trying to look like where is the wind blowing? What's going more and more? Like, for example, you were finding me on Tinder. Remember that came out, like the online dating thing?
yeah.
Like I'm good at finding the trends, and I'm just
The trend is anime.
I think the trend is demasculinating. I think the trend is the core masculine stuff is coming to an end, and now that's think about what just recently happened. Toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but
They're
still,
at war with being a man.
But
Can you imagine we said toxic femininity?
But bro, it's still like everything on Instagram is how to make money.
Yeah.
And I would argue, and I know that like this might be controversial as well, of like going and being like a go-getter and trying to make money. Maybe not making money as masculine or alpha or whatever, but like the go-getter thing is alpha, right?
Making money will always be.
I'm not saying it's like
two
alpha,
things. Right.
It's more popular than ever.
Here's how it's different. Here's how it's different. I want to end on this note. Here's how it's
digital?
different. No. Back then, the master way to make money was a guy in a fucking suit.
Right.
The madman.
Now it's a guy in fucking
in
pajamas.
sweatpants.
Yeah.
Case in point. All right. See you guys next episode. And make sure to like and subscribe.